I am recording. Okay, so final draft. Let's go back. Not to this one. Let's go back to this final draft. Okay, and let's write the thesis statement again. Okay. So remember we have these words. We have words, language of opinion words. And you can see a copy of that in your draft, in your phase one. Sorry to some of you, I wasn't able to give you feedback on phase one. It's my mistake. I should have given to you phase one like much earlier so that you could do that before writing the essay. But I figured I'd just give you those comments on your first draft, and it would be easier for everybody. But if you did it, great. If you didn't do it, well, you didn't do it. And yeah, these assignments aren't actually worth anything. But you have to do them to get better. And if you don't do them, then you're not doing this deep practice. Let's see. Let's use my view, or as far as I'm concerned, let's say it is my opinion. Yeah, it is my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to write. I have my, what's it called? Introduction. What is talent? Many people believe that talent is something natural that we are born with. People think that it is an ability that our genetic code hardwired is an ability that our genetic code hardwired into our body when we were born. Some have explained that it comes from nurture, which comes from community, culture, and education. However, there's a large body of research that points to effort and consistency, referred to as grit by Duckworth 2016. So this is what we call a narrative citation. It's in there. So you're using the name of the author. So you only have to put the year. Why do you have to put the year? Well, different authors write different articles, and every year they might publish something. So if you have two articles by Duckworth, then one might be 2016, the other one might be 2020. Okay. And so I need to know which one you're actually referring to so I can do my research and read those articles and figure out where you got the quote from. As being more important developing skills, this shift in thinking opens up new possibilities for what is possible to learn or master a skill and become talented. Quote unquote. I'm going to use this quote unquote. Okay, so which one did I choose? It is my opinion. Okay. So when you write your thesis statement, okay, start with the language of opinions. This is an opinion essay. If you don't have something that tells me your opinion, well, you're not writing an opinion essay. So it is my opinion that, okay, and I have to restate what the thing I'm arguing for. So if you guys chose it is important, so it is my opinion that learning history is important because of, okay? It is my opinion that learning history is not important because of, okay? It is my opinion that smart homes are a good idea or something like that, right? Because, right? It is my opinion that smart homes are, effective or are helpful because, okay? You need to use this statement. Okay, this is the statement that you chose for an opinion. This is the opinion. Okay, and you can add the language of opinion on top of this. So, in my opinion, camping is better than staying at a hotel when you're on a holiday. In my opinion, it is a bad idea to have smart homes. In my opinion, it is a good idea to have smart homes because, in my opinion, it is not important to learn about history. See how I do that? That's using an opinion. And this opinion thing is just, you imagine like a bubble and you just wrap it. You're wrapping up your words with something. And that thing you're wrapping with is like the way that you can make an opinion out of any sentence. Okay? And you can do that, if you master and you practice these kind of phrases, I am certain, right? But you don't need to use I and we throughout your essay after that. State your opinion, give the facts. Okay? The only time I really want to hear what you think is in your opinion. Everything else comes from, research, from facts, from information. This is how we build a society that stops misinformation, that stops thinking about conspiracy theories. Okay, and I know a lot of you hate science, and a lot of you don't believe in experts, and everything is a conspiracy theory to some people now, because we've lost trust in our governments, we've lost trust in our scientists, we've lost trust in our leaders, we've lost trust, and once we lose trust, that is when democracy ends. Okay, so it's up to us now as informed citizens to help each other. Okay, and that means to cancel out misinformation. It means to stop people from spreading conspiracy theories. It means that we stop the lies that are happening in this world. And the only way, in my opinion, is to learn how to do research for ourselves, and not just to read some crazy thing on social media, Instagram, but to actually, dig deep, follow the links, go down your references, look for other references inside the thing. When you find a good article, they link to other research, okay? And yeah, it is a problem when we stop believing in research, okay? And what is research? I mean, research is somebody puts it out there and other people review it. So it's called peer reviewed. Okay. The only way to publish an article is that 10 people read your article, approve it. Once it's approved, then it gets put out there. Then people read it and then they argue about it or for it. Okay. And if you keep following the research, you'll find 20, 30, 50 different links to it. You'll find people using it as their reference. There'll be people that are debunking it, saying that it's wrong. There are people that will say, this is correct. I did my own research in Turkey or another country, and I find the same results, okay? And it's called what we call replication, to repeat something, okay? To replicate something, to make something again. We want to do this in as many ways as we can. So, they do a trial for COVID in one country. Well, they have to do it in another country. They have to do it in, different people, different age groups. Okay. And then different researchers do it all over the world. And then they find that there is a vaccine that is safe. Okay. And some people have adverse effects. Some people have negative side effects from it. That is normal. That is just how our body, our variations and the millions and billions of combinations of genes that make us into unique human beings. And some of those things work really well for us as humans and some things don't. Vitamin D is the most important thing. Anyways, okay, so you have this. I'm going to remove this YouTube link because I don't need that. You don't need these extra spaces as well. I know a lot of you guys added extra spaces, okay? And some of you don't have enough space right there, so it's kind of hard for me to see. So if you don't have a computer and you don't press the tab button, okay, press this at least 5 times, okay, so I can see, because I'm reading 21 articles or essays from you guys. I need to be able to easily figure out. And when it looks all the same, it's easy for me to read. This is why we have a standard. This is why we have this formatting thing. This is why you lose points for not doing these things. All right, let me get back to this. It is my opinion that effort is more important. Why does my keyboard always do that? Than talent, because, okay, so this is the language of opinion right here, okay? This is the statement, or the, what's it called? I guess the opinion. This is the opinion. Effort is more important than talent, right? It's something that cannot be proved, okay? It's not something that's 100%. This is not like the sun, it goes up and the sun goes down kind of thing. This is kind of like your belief. I'm trying to change your belief, okay? Because there is no conclusive, there is no final answer on this. And I think we keep coming to different ideas. Every generation has a different idea about this, okay? And I think right now in the world, we're starting to believe that effort is more important than talent. Maybe 20 years ago, people just said, hey, if you're talented at this, we're going to put you in this type of school. You're going to practice science. If you're not so much good at science, we're going to put you in this. If you're better with your hands, we're going to put you in a vocational thing to learn a trade like carpentry or plumbing or metalworking or something, right? That was the old world. This new world says that we can choose what we want to do if we put the effort into it, if we do the right steps, if we have the right teachers, if we have the right motivation and the right support, that we can basically do anything we want. Okay? And that's a difficult world for some to believe. Some people have a prejudice, a discrimination, let's say, against women, that women can't do certain work. And I would totally disagree. I used to think that girls just weren't as, let's say, hand-eye coordination wasn't so good, So like playing with a baseball and throwing a ball, they weren't so good at it. What I realized, though, is how you grew up. If your mom and dad didn't let you throw a ball, even for boys, right? If they didn't let you like catch and throw, you didn't develop these skills at an early age. So you're never going to be that good until you practice, deep practice. Okay, you can develop all of those skills, even just like the stereotype that, like, let's say women are really bad at finding directions. Okay, that's not true. Okay, it's usually because young girls are not allowed to go anywhere on their own. They're not able to navigate the city by themselves. They have somebody guiding them, whether it's their parents or somebody else, right? And a lot of times, if when you were growing up, was your little brother the one that went to the market to buy, I don't know, the beers or the snacks for the guest or something like that? Okay. And if that little boy was asked every day to go out to the market to find this thing at the local shop, they will develop that skill to be able to find a location and come back. Okay. And if somebody doesn't practice that skill at a young age, well, they don't develop it. And then they start to rely on other people. And they say things like, I'm bad at maps. I'm bad at finding locations. And it's true, but it's not like 100% fact. Okay. So I would ask you to reimagine and rethink about the things that boys and girls are good at, okay? Whether it's math or science, okay? And whether your society and your culture was the one that told you that, and you started to believe that, okay? Because there is this thing that we call it internalizing. When we internalize a message, we believe that it's going to be true, and we believe it's true for ourselves. But there's many examples of people, athletes, girls that had to grow up in different situations that had to do these things, and they are better at those things than other people. They might be better than me. The fact now is, let's say, with throwing balls, nobody does, okay? So nobody knows how to throw anymore. And because you were not allowed to play as a kid, you weren't allowed to go outside. You didn't have a backyard. There was no place to throw a ball. And so nobody, young people, very few of you, let's say, not nobody, very few of you can take a ball and throw it and hit something. Okay? That skill is no longer available to anybody growing up because parenting has changed, because society has changed. I'm pontificating again. Okay, it is my opinion, okay? Language of opinion. Effort is more important than talent. This is the opinion. And then we're going to say something like because. Okay. And then I'm going to list my things, 1 and 2. Okay. And here, 1 and 2 is going to be deep practice and good support. Are necessary to develop skill. So not talent, skill. Skill is like when you can do something. Sometimes you can do it really well. Okay. The better word is skill. I'm gonna just make these blue so that you guys can see this. I'm gonna upload it. I'll make this red again. All right, and then when you're done, just go ahead and download this as your Word document. Put your name. If you guys don't know how to change the name, all you have to do is click on this thing. Okay, write Bob Win. You know, you can do whatever you want. Writing task. To find opinion, essay, final draft, or whatever. You don't need final draft. Okay, you can put a thing here. Whenever you put these, try to put a space between them. I don't like them all together, but that's just me. Okay, there you go. You can download it. And when you download it, you can also change the name of the file. Okay. So some of you don't know how to change your file names. You should learn how to do this. It's kind of important. And I can't show you, but here's the task. Okay. And you're going to go down to the 11th. I've added a new date for this. Okay. This is your phase 3, your final draft. I'm going to click on it. I can't upload anything. You know how to do it. I can't see it because I'm not a student. But so far, nobody's added it. Let's see. The start date was May 5th for some weird reason. Due date's 11th. Post date. That's when I'm going to give you the score. So I've already included this. I think I have to give you all your scores somewhere on Egedurs. I don't know how to do that. We will figure it out someday. But go ahead, upload that file that you have. Let's just say I do it here. And then, you know, you can change the name. Use the same title, guys. If you figure out how to copy the title, write that there. Write your name at least. And then you could submit the file, okay? And then add submission. I'm not taking URLs. I'm just going to, I guess I let you. But yeah, upload a file, blah, 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 whatever you do. I don't know how you do it. And then, yeah, click add submission. No, click add submission. That's it. But you have to name your file. Try to name it with your name. Opinion, essay, final draft. You don't have to write GM12. I know where you guys are. And then you're done. And that is your final assignment for this class. Your final assignment with me for the rest of the year. You don't have to deal with your teacher nagging you, yelling at you. Something's going to play on. No. Yeah. And yeah, obviously you don't want these colors. So if you want to get rid of all those colors. Okay. Oh, sorry. Whoops. You have to remove teacher's notes. Okay. Don't include that. If you do, don't worry, I won't minus points. But yeah, it's good practice to be able to do this consistently over and over again. So let's just do all of that. And make sure the highlighting, okay, is not like yellow. Make sure the highlighting is just none. So there's no weird colors. There's none of this, you know. Some of you are using sneaky methods in my class, and you should learn how to hide your sneakiness. Okay. I mean, I was a student once. I knew what to do. I knew how to hide things. Okay. But so the last thing I want to talk about is plagiarism. It's okay to get help. Okay, it's not okay to have somebody write a paper for you. It's just not. And if you get caught doing that, you know, if I look at your first essay in this class, the cause and effect, and then I look at your opinion essay and you've become like, you went from, I don't know, an A1 writer to a C level writer. If your writing is better than my writing, I'm going to be very suspicious. Okay. And, you know, there might be like 0.001% of you that are that good, that you improved that much, and that you sat for hours and hours writing every day, and you became an amazing writer. I don't want to disbelieve that, okay? But for the most part, in the time that we've had together, which is, I don't know, just like 4 months, there is no way that you can shoot up like 3 different levels. Okay, you can't go from whatever 200 IELTS to an 800 IELTS in 4 months. I get it. Some of you have gotten help from things like Grammarly and other sources. I just don't want to name the other source. And I can tell. It's easy for me to tell. Some of you have like amazing vocabulary. I would love it in the future when we do these classes that after writing essays, you have to sit with me and defend your essay. And that's something you have to do as an academic, right? Is like defend your thesis statement. I would love to listen to you, explain to me your essay without the essay in front of you, and be able to tell me, what did you write? What were your reasons? I have the essay, and I would like give you points and say, okay, good explanation. And then I would ask you some questions to like see if you have any more information. That, I think, is maybe where we're going to go with writing classes in the future, to kind of fight off AI, the disruption of AI. And it's not like I don't believe in this new technology. I just think that before you can use it, you need to learn how to write. Okay? Because if you don't, you'll never learn how to write. You'll never learn how to write again. And you'll never have an ability to think for yourself, because a robot will think for you. And that's the future that you're choosing, kind of by cheating, by using AI, by using these tools, is that you're giving up your ability to think for yourself. And sometimes your thoughts aren't as great as somebody else's. That's fine. We're developing those thoughts. We're developing the ability to think for yourself, to think critically, to question the world, to like combine things. AI cannot combine 2 different things into one. It has to be out there. So how do we be creative? Well, you can't make an original anything anymore, but you can combine things. Okay, so think about painting. Think about colors. Think about like making a new something out of combining 5 different things into one, synthesizing ideas, analyzing things, finding connections between 2 different fields, between science and art, between cooking and painting, figure out how to do those things. And that's when you become kind of an original, because you took different ideas that are out there. You mastered them in some way. You learned enough about them to be able to talk about them, and then you put those all together. And that's when you become really good at something. One of the Instagrams I listened to recently was about this idea that if you want to find your passion, you just have to learn something first. Okay, you have to master something, and maybe it's not something you love, but you started doing it when you were young. Get really good at that, okay? And then choose something new. And, because you practice, because you know how to learn, because you are so good at one thing, you're going to be able to be really good at something else, okay? But if you're not good at anything, you're not going to be able to be good at anything else. So, if you have a talent, if you have an ability, if you have a motivation, if you have something you're interested in, develop that skill, okay? And a hobby, a skill, is something that you can't ever become perfect at, okay? So if your hobby is going shopping or watching Netflix, how much can you improve in that hobby? And would you call it a hobby? That's just something you do for fun, for relaxation, okay? I don't call that a hobby. Watching Netflix is not a hobby. But watching movies, like old movies that are really good, and like analyzing them and writing about them, and then doing photo or video essays about a movie and putting it onto YouTube, that is a skill. And I've seen such great YouTube videos that explain art and lighting and movies and acting. And some people are just so good and so talented at doing that, okay? So they are watching a movie, but they're watching it for a purpose, okay? And that's what you should do when you watch something. If you watch a movie last week and I asked you about it and you can't tell me anything about it, did you really watch it? You know, did you learn something from it? Because what I find is when I watch movies, I can talk about that movie for like the rest of my life. Because I don't watch many movies. I choose to watch a movie that I think is going to be really good. And if it's not, I still learn something that I can explain about this. I can use it as a metaphor. I can use it to explain something else. I can like say, hey, did you watch that movie? Remember when they did that? That's kind of similar to this. That is what you can do and that AI cannot do. Okay? You can make connections between your own life and what you're viewing, creating, looking at. Okay? I want to redo all of this. Sorry, I want to leave those colors in there. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that's that. And I gotta make this online feedback form. So if you have any questions you want to ask me, let me know. But how much has your writing improved? How much has your reading improved? What's your favorite assignment that you did in the class? You know, rate the English class, rate the reading class from 1 to 6. There, I'll duplicate this one too. Rate the writing class. Not hate it, hated it, loved it. And yeah, you don't, I guess if you write a 0, that means that you didn't go to class. That's fine. If you never went to class, then don't answer this question, I guess. Don't fake it to me. I don't need lies. Lies. What's your favorite assignment that you did in the reading class? Okay. What's the favorite assignment you did in the writing class? And it could be the task as well. How much has your reading skill improved at the end of the semester? How much has your reading skill? And I want to ask questions about this essay. Okay, so like, I don't know, what did you learn about the writing process? Okay, I want to know that. How did the feedback help you improve your writing? So feedback is what, how did the feedback you received from your teacher help you improve your writing? Okay. And then I just want to know things. What do I want to know? I want to mainly focus on the writing class because I think this was more important. I was able to do more things. Any comments or suggestions? What do I want to ask you? What did you learn about the writing process? Well, that's enough. Okay. I want to ask something. Was the rubric? How effective was the rubric that explained your scores for cause and effect essay? I'm going to make this a linear scale from 1 to 6 again. Did not help. Versus helped me improve my writing greatly. Helped me improve my writing. Okay, cool. here. What did you learn about how effective was the rubric? So the rubric is that thing I gave you guys that had all the check marks and your score on it. I think that that's probably the most important thing a teacher can give to their student. We're not gonna, I think that's enough. Anything else? You guys have any other things you want to tell me from this class? Rate the effectiveness of the reading class. I don't need 1 through 6. So I didn't learn anything to it helped me improve greatly. I have to put greatly. So anything below greatly would be, 5 or a 4, right? 1 would be I didn't learn anything. And then I need to ask, I guess a self-rating after each of these. How much effort did you put into the reading class? So if you put a lot of effort, I didn't attend any classes. I did all the assignments. Let's say I didn't do any work. Except the task. The assessments. I did all the assignments and tasks on time. Cool. So I'm going to put that one here. I'm going to duplicate that for the writing class. This is how you do a Google form. The writing class. These are all, you have to put this. I need you to include your, I want your names this time. I'll let you edit, limit to 1 response. So this one's not going to be anonymous, so you can, trust me. I'm not going to, it's the end of the class, I'm not going to yell at you guys. I would love to, yes. Yes, great idea, Sumie. And we can meet now as well, or even in the summer if you guys are around. But if you guys don't live here in Izmir, yeah, definitely next year. I'll be coming back for another year. I'll be teaching at the prep department again. I'll be doing what I do, hopefully in person. But with all the same technological and online activities, because I think online activities work really well in the face-to-face classroom. And I would love to do that. So if you, since you're asking, Sumeye, if you can organize your classmates, if you can keep the WhatsApp group so that next year, and also, I mean, I still have the Google Classroom. You can always message me on the Google Classroom and I'll check it. Like I won't delete the class or anything. I won't archive it. And yeah, I would love to. Yeah, we should meet on campus. We should have lunch and we should have coffee and we should sit and talk and then... I would love to talk to each of you individually as well. I like having like one-to-ones with students, because I feel like it feels more natural. So we can do, yeah, I would love that. Let's do it. And I hope, yeah, I would, I, I don't even know what you guys look like, you know? I have never seen like your videos. Um, I think in Google Classroom, sometimes I see a little photo of you, and it's still not enough for me to remember. So if I don't remember your name, please help me. um, but yeah, it's something that 2021, I never met my students online because I was teaching online from the United States in California to students in Adana. And then I came and I visited and I got to meet my students for the first time, and it was wonderful. It was such a lovely experience. But those students, I knew what they looked like. They shared a lot more. They made videos for the class. They made videos of themselves. Um, and they, for the Zoom, they had their images. And this class, not so much. What did you learn about the writing practice? How effective was a Rubik? Explain your scores for cause and effect. I don't know. Explain your scores for the essays. How did the feedback you received from your teacher help you improve your writing? And then any comments or suggestions for your teacher. Write anything you would like to say to your teacher. Okay, so we're gonna stop soon, but I think it's like somebody gives you something, you give something back, right? So hopefully all that feedback, it takes a lot of time for me, but I don't ever want to stop giving that much feedback. That's a gift, I don't think a lot of teachers would give you the time to make those comments on your writing. And so, I would love it if you guys did the same for me. Give me feedback, write as much as you can. This time I'm asking for your names because I'd like to be able to ask you questions later about it. I do a lot of research for my work to improve my teaching, to make my classes better, and then to help other teachers improve their teaching. Okay. So anything that you tell me, guys, will make this a much better class, and it might make education better. That's my goal, is to teach teachers how to improve. Okay. And if you can give me as much feedback, okay, if you can write as much as you can, if you can tell me the things that you liked, and let me add one more. What were your least favorite activities, routines, or I don't know, any parts of the online classes? And I love receiving negative feedback as well, so it's important for me to hear the good, the bad. It hurts sometimes, but that's fine. Tell me if I talk too much. I think I do, but I also have no other option because nobody else talks. All right. So this is our Gamma online feedback for 2023. Okay. And I'm going to include this link. I'm going to share it with you now. I'm going to shorten it, of course. And did I miss anything? Help me. Okay. Do I just want to do a... No, this is fine. We start with that. Effectiveness. How much effort did you put into the reading class? Rate the effectiveness of the writing class. How much effort did you put into the writing class, right? So sometimes how much effort you put equals how effective it was. Sometimes, you put a lot of effort and you get nothing. That's my fault, okay? Sometimes you think it's really good, but you put no effort, then the class was too easy. So that's what I like to see. What's your favorite assignment that you did in the reading class? What's your favorite assignment? Let's say activity. Okay. So it could be an assignment. It could be just listening to me talking about vocabulary. Oh, and the student that talked about writing notes on an iPad, again, can you message me? I'm going to find you. I want to ask you some questions because I'm also trying to develop a note taking class for all students to learn how to take better notes. Not because it's an assignment, because it actually helps you learn things. Um, what were your least favorite? Always got to double check, guys. Activities, routines are parts of the online class. How much has your improved? How much has your writing skill improved at the end of the semester? Um, Let me ask a why question. Why did it improve? I am that student. Okay. I'm gonna email you later. I just want to ask you about these notes. I want to see your notes. I'll share with you my notes. Um, I'll share it with you right now. Who cares? So I've been taking notes on at every conference I go to. Every time I'm not in class, um, and I do it on my iPad as well. And I draw, and I use lots of colors. And I'm doing this while I'm listening to somebody talking about teaching literature, blah, blah, blah. Parallelism between stylistic and. I'm doing this like as I'm listening, okay? And I don't understand all of this. I want to actually learn more about this because Grice's maximum. Bob. I gotta erase that. How do I erase things? Interesting. I can't. Not on here. I love taking notes. And it also helps me focus, and it helps me not to talk to my friends during something. This is like a visual note taking I did that just was drawings mainly. But the topic was really interesting. It was about metaphors, about teaching. So sometimes the gardener, sometimes apple. In Iran, it's the key. In Saudi Arabia, it's a cup of coffee. This is what the teacher is. The teacher is a sword in Palestine. In Tanzania, a scratchy sweater makes you think, makes you do something. Uzbekistan, a silkworm. Falling leaves. India is a cow, because a cow is calm, not because a cow is stupid. Okay? In Georgia, this is the image, like heads within heads within heads within heads. And this lady, she used a metaphor about sailing to talk about teaching. Okay, so interesting. But yeah, I know who you are. Thank you very much for sharing that. And I'm going to find you. Let's see. Why do you explain about your reading development? Okay, so you don't have to do this now. And I know you have a test tomorrow. Okay, and you don't have to do it. You know, you do it after next week when you finish everything. I just want to know, what did you learn about? So explain about your writing development in the class. So how did you improve? How did you develop in the class? Then tell me about, what did you learn about the writing process? So like, what is pre-writing? You know, what are these drafts that we have to do when you get feedback back, right? Talk to me what you understand about that. And how effective was the rubric? Okay, so that rubric I gave you. How did the feedback you received from your teacher help you improve your writing? So the rubric is considered, it's considered feedback, right? Like when I give you your score, that's feedback. If you get like a 40 out of 40, that's feedback. If you get a mark that tells you missed doing this, you got 39, that's feedback. If I read a comment that says, this could have been better, one sentence, improve this, use proper punctuation, blah, 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 blah. If you do that, if you get that, then that's feedback. Okay, so rubric is feedback as well. But it's only effective if you look at the rubric. Okay, you have to study the rubric before you do your lesson. It's a guide. It's like a checklist. Literally, it's a checklist for checking your work to see how good your writing is. Okay, and it's saying, this is my criteria as a teacher. These are the standards. This is what I'm looking for from my students. And when you read that, you can learn how to write for my class, not for every class. Okay, but I'm going to say for 90% of writing classes, you're going to be able to, I think the one thing. Oh, one more question. Okay. Research question. Did you learn how to do research in this class using web search, using search engines, I don't know, references, and citations? Okay, first part of the question. This will be yes, no. Yes. Somewhat. So you kind of got it. And then no. Okay? This is required. And then the next question is explain to me what how research has improved your academic writing. Okay, I know, lots of questions, but that's fine because you're going to do this over the summer. I'm going to bother everybody to do it, and if you don't, then I'll come after you. I'll find you. I'll come to your house. I'll knock on your door. I'll ask your mom where you are. I'll tell you to sit down and write this. And I gotta put why. Why is the most important question? Why? Okay, I think that's enough. Anybody have any questions about the final draft? Does anybody have any questions about the reading examination tomorrow? I don't know what's going to be on it. Does anybody have any questions for me? Does anybody have any last comments that you want to tell me? Anything? And if you do, then please tell me. But I'm going to have to write this real quickly. And then we're not going to do another class after this. Class feedback. Write it in the chat, guys. Please provide your teacher with detailed feedback about the online reading and writing class. Feedback is important for students to learn, to improve. It is also important for teachers to become better. All right, let me throw in a little asset here. An asset, a thing. I'm going to put this Google form right over here. And gotta. There it is. There's a link. There's another link. And conclusion. Same thing I said before. Goodbye, everyone. I'm not saying goodbye yet, but this is what I would say to you. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for all your hard work, effort, and patience this semester. It's been a difficult semester, and I hope you gained something valuable from this challenging year. Good luck on your examinations and your essay. And I hope to see you someday in person. So hopefully next year on campus, somewhere beautiful, under a tree, with your coffee and your food and your personalities and anything that you want to share with me. I would love to meet. So sometime next year. All right. That's it. I'm going to just throw this Google form. You can do this at any time. Your assignment is due on Sunday. Use the rubric Let me just send the rubric again, because I should always multiple send things to you. I'm gonna send you this rubric. And that's it. 15 weeks together for reading and writing. And it's time to say goodbye to this semester. Okay, breathe it out. It's time to, for your last big little challenge before you get to go off for the summer. I hope you have a wonderful summer, that you get to relax, but also that you continue to do do reading. Okay, go on to actively read. Find a book. Go to your bookstore. Find your favorite book. Find it in English. Okay, even if you're reading in Turkish, if you're reading in any language, it's amazing. Okay, don't stop those gains. Okay, it's a long time between this and next semester starting. Okay, don't let your brain rot. Write. Okay, get a journal. Get a little notebook. Put it in your pocket. Or have your favorite app on your phone that you take notes on. Write something in English every day. Okay, tell me about your summer. Write down your summer thing. Maybe I'll make an assignment. Okay. And the assignment will just be a journal, and you can write to me. I'm not going to give you all the feedback, but you can have a way during the summer that you can just write to somebody about something, and you can, I won't give you feedback, but I will respond. I'll just say, wow, that's amazing. I'll give you comments I'm happy to hear that you've done this, or great job, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'll do that. Yeah, why not? Okay. I'm going to make this an assignment for writing, to do this Google form. It's a good writing practice for all of you. Practice your writing skills. Take your time doing this. Be honest. Be open. Don't be afraid of... I'm not going to take away points if you say something negative, okay? But be honest, and think deeply about what you went through this class, how maybe this class is different. Oh, I want to do that. Sorry. I'm going to ask a question. How is this online class different from your other online classes that you have experienced? And you can write nothing because you don't know, because you never took an online class. I'm not saying you can compare, and I'm not going to yell at the other teacher if you say anything bad. Everything is confidential, except that this time I want you to have... I wanted to see your name because I want to be able to talk to you someday about it. Okay? All right. And that's it. And have a great summer. Good luck on your examination tomorrow. Make sure you start early, or at least by 3:30, so you can finish by 5. Is that right? And then take your weekend. Write your essay, little piece by piece. Don't sit down. Don't read it for 5 hours. It's gonna burn your brain out. Do it in little chunks at a time. Work on the introduction. Work on the body paragraph. Take a break. Work on the second body paragraph. Take a break. Work on the conclusion. Take a break. Check the rubric. See if you can write your score for yourself, And if you don't know how to, well, then you need to study a little bit more. If you don't know what a concluding sentence is, go back, look at the textbook, go on to Google, go on to YouTube, ask it what a concluding sentence is and how to write a concluding sentence. This is the effort that you have to put in order to get better at the things that you want to get better at. And peace. Nothing from you guys. But thank you for coming. Thank you for your comments. And yeah, thank you for being here and going through this awful, I mean, this learning experience with me and your classmates. I think somebody was typing something. Okay, take care, teacher. You're welcome. Thank you, and you're welcome. And good luck. I'll see you later. And Google Classroom's always open. All right. Bye, guys.